Yesterday, Brett Ratner stepped down as producer of next year's Oscars. Today, Eddie Murphy followed him out the door. No replacement for Murphy has been named yet. I know someone in the movie business who's available. Hello.
Take it on, Joy.
Pass. I think my work speaks for itself, okay? Joining me now to talk about this and other pop culture stories in the news are Chuck Nice, comedian and host of the Hot 10 on Centric.
Yes.
Deidre Hall, star of Days of Our Lives and the author of How Does She Do It? And Joe Levy, pop culture commentator. Welcome, guys. Okay, Joe, did Murphy step down in support of Ratner, do you think?
I think he did. Brett Ratner got him into this. Brett Ratner is the director of Tower Heist. Eddie Murphy's in the movie. Brett Ratner came on to produce the Oscars. And here's a little fact about the Oscar telecast. When you're the producer, you're only responsible for about 30 minutes of television. The rest of it is people getting awards and giving thank you speeches. Exactly. So Ratner brought Eddie Murphy on. He said it was going to be great. It was going to be funny. And then Brett Ratner went out to promote Tower Heist and talked the way that guys do in high school locker rooms.
Right, exactly.
About a whole bunch of different things. About having sex with Lindsay Lohan and telling her to go to a doctor and get tested first.
That's charming.
And then he used a short word to describe what has as many letters as gays. Yeah, and we don't say it because it's offensive.
Right.
He used it in a context where he was not talking about gay people, but just the same, it's a dumb thing to do.
Right.
You don't say that.
Right. It's politically incorrect at this point. But what about Eddie? Eddie has had some homophobic attacks in the past. I had this movie called Delirious, which I never saw.
Yeah, it was his stand-up.
I mean, what about that?
Yeah, well, you know, Eddie...
Maybe he doesn't want to dredge it up.
I don't blame him because he also, if I'm not mistaken, was found on Sunset Boulevard with a lady man. I'll just put it like that.
I think you have to say allegedly because that was never proven.
That was never proven. But
no,
you know,
I think it was proven that they were found together. It just wasn't proven that he was doing something more than giving her a ride home.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, is that what they call it now?
Yes.
No, they call it a drive with Herman Cain. That's what they call it. Anyway, you know, he apologized, Deidre. Do you think it was sincere?
I think Eddie backed out because he doesn't want to rehearse.
That's possible.
That's, no mystery there.
Hence the ride home.
Well, I mean, you know, the Academy Awards needs to spice the show up. Right. And every time they have a comic as the host, it works, in my opinion.
Yes.
I mean, even though David Letterman had a little trouble, remember that one? Oprah, whatever that was.
Yeah.
But usually you look at Billy Crystal, even Bob Hope back in the day. Steve Martin scored. Who else? Tell me.
Johnny Carson.
Johnny Carson, the best.
Whoopi Goldberg did a fantastic job.
Yeah. And last year wasn't so funny.
No. And you know what? Last year, wasn't that James Franco?
Yes, it was.
You know what? He bombed. And we haven't heard from him since. That show is loaded. You can really destroy your career if you go down the toilet over there, my opinion. Am I right?
Yeah, you're true. And the thing is that all the world is watching, all of Hollywood is watching. There are a bunch of, I hate to put it, but, you know, tight asses that are sitting there. And, you know, you have to find a way to poke fun at people and keep their egos intact at the same time.
Not easy.
And it's not easy. And comedians have the ability to do that. That's why they do so well at it.
Okay, let's move on to another story, which is a really good one.
Because I'm glad we solved that, okay.
Oh, we solved it. The head of the Irish airline, Ryanair, wants to make pay-per-view porn content available as part of its in-flight entertainment. Time to put those blankets back in coach. Okay. Now, Joe, would you be more or less likely to fly Ryanair now?
Define fly. Just to be clear, this guy is a PR monster. He just says this stuff to get people talking about Ryanair. It's this low-cost airline. It's no frills. The seats don't recline. Last week he was saying they're going to charge to use the bathroom, or they're going to take all the restrooms out but one and put in more seats.
Yeah.
Now he's saying they're going to have porn, but through an app on your handheld device. So it won't be on the seat. Well, yeah, one hand here.
How are you going to do that with one hand?
I just don't know.
That's a good point.
You need one hand free. So,
okay, we've beaten it to pieces already.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so the grandma in the next seat can't see it?
Well, he's claiming that he'll have all sorts of precautions in place so that people with their handheld porn won't be seated next to grandmas will be offended, or kids,
like
or
what? A spank shield? I mean, exactly how do you... And how bad is your problem that you can't go a 4-hour flight without flogging it? I mean, that's ridiculous. I don't know what I'm going to do, man. I'm serious. I can't take it. I mean, I need to go. Just please put up the window. I got to do something right now. It's ridiculous.
I know, it's true.
It's so ridiculous.
But, you know, they do have porn in hotel rooms, Deidre.
Yeah. Oh. I would have said no. Yesterday I would have said no to the porn thing.
Yeah.
And I flew Continental on a brand new plane, and L.A. to New York, not a single piece of entertainment. I mean, not even a cute guy in the next seat.
Really?
But no movies, no nothing, no radio, no earplugs.
What airline was that?
Nothing. Continental.
Oh, yeah, wow.
And so listen, about 4 hours in, I would have said, show me anything.
Okay, next up, Ashley Madison. Listen to this. The website that encourages married adults to have affairs is in hot water after posting these ads. Look at the ads. See this woman? Can you see? Okay. The ad that shows a skinny woman, obese woman, we call it as we see it. That's the other one. The guy who runs Ashley Madison, on the other hand, his name is Noel Biderman. He looks like this. Deidre, would you do him?
Would you anybody Continental? I don't know, maybe.
Sure. Yeah, if you're flying to Australia, you get desperate. That's a long flight.
Oh, gal, what kind of question is that? I don't even know how to speak to that.
He looks like the kind of guy that would fly Ryanair, to be honest.
There you go.
And quite frankly, if he's using an obese woman as the justification for cheating on your wife, he should use his own picture as a justification for cheating on your husband.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
well
you.
said.
But
That's what I meant
do you
to
think,
say.
Joe?
I mean, here's the interesting thing about this. The model in question raised an objection. She wrote into a website that had objected to it as well, a website called Jezebel, a feminist website, great site. She said, I don't want to be involved in anything that involves body shaming. These pictures were taken early in my modeling career. I signed a release. I don't like them being used this way. Let me just point out that Jacqueline has a site called JuicyJackie.com. It's a BBW site. That's
a beautiful woman.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a little terrifying that you know that.
That's not terrifying.
Yeah.
Hey, big girls need love too, and I'm here to give it to them.
Can I just say, Chuck Nice, chubby chaser.
This is just pointing out that it doesn't invalidate her argument, but she is in the porn industry. That's what she does. She's a porn model.
I know, but that's really not the point I'm trying to get out of you. What is he saying, that if your wife is fat or if your wife is not beautiful like Deidre, that you're not going to have sex with her or you're not attracted to her? Well, how do they think all these fat people get born?
All he's doing... Well, they get born smaller and then they get bigger. That's my understanding of it.
But even uglies, not everybody is a beauty in this world.
Look,
and there are billions of us.
Let's face facts. This ridiculous website, Ashley Madison, exists to make money. All they want is people talking about them. I'm sure they're just as happy to have us outraged at their stupid ad as they would be to have us thrilled at their clever ad. More so, because they're getting more PR out of it.
Okay, let's do one more stories.
But if you want to know how to be beautiful, you can pick up my book on Amazon.com.
I'll plug it in a second. Easy, Deidre.
Let's be clear why we're here.
Okay, listen to this. The Duggar family from the TLC series 19 Kids and Counting has announced they're now expecting their 20th child. Please, there are more people occupying this woman's uterus than Wall Street. You know something? If I were her, I'd put a GPS on his schmeckle so I know exactly where he is at all times. I mean, Chuck, the world population has hit 7 billion. What are they doing?
And most of it comes from this woman's womb.
Why are they doing it? Why?
I don't know. Well, you know what? Some people will do anything to be on TV. They got to extend the show. It's 19 and counting. Now it's 20 and counting. All I know is that thing must look like a train shed at this point.
Let's leave her uterus out of this for a second and how it looks.
Okay.
The point, I mean, she's got a reality show. Do you think that they do it for that? They're very Christian people, and I've interviewed them many times. They're really lovely, and the kids are not demented. I mean, they're fine, the children.
Yeah, but they got 19 mouths to feed. They homeschool them. They've got all those textbooks to buy. They've got to keep people tuning into this show. And the word is that they get a piece of the production budget. That they get... The bigger the budget, the more money they're going to get. And even if that's not the case, the more kids they have, the more people tune in.
Yeah, but they're splitting it like 20-something ways. It's like, you know, being in Wu-Tang. It's ridiculous.
Where? That sounded a little...
you know, I didn't realize how that sounded.
That sounded You know, people in the South are watching this. Okay, thank you guys very much, and we'll be right back. Did I plug your book? Here it is.
There you go.
Here it is.
And she's still having
How
sex
does
tonight.
she do it? I did it already in the beginning.
Oh,
remember?
okay.